All right, let's talk about it, man. Breaking news in the NFL. Hit up the chat. Ty D. Butler. That's on Twitter, on Instagram, TikTok. You know the vibes. Let's get it popping, y'all. Ty D. Butler. That's where you can find me on social media. We got some breaking news in the NFL that I am excited to talk about. Obviously, you don't celebrate anyone losing their job, man. John Harbaugh did a tremendous job with the Baltimore Ravens. He's a Super Bowl champion. He was there for 18 years, man. And that Super Bowl run they had was so improbable with Flacco back in that 2012-2013 season. He's won 61% of his games, got a 13-11 record in the playoffs, and he is an NFL lifer. So mad respect to John Harbaugh and what he was able to accomplish in Baltimore. But it's time to turn the page. I don't think that you can be someone who watched the Ravens and how their seasons have ended the last half decade and come away from this story thinking A, it's undeserved, or B, be surprised by it. Too many times the Ravens were an excellent regular season team and had just complete flops in the playoffs. Mark Andrews, Tyler Loop, Zay Flowers. I mean, throw Lamar's poor performances, but a lot of people are going to make this into a Lamar Jackson thing, and I understand that. Lamar's been a better playoff performer the last couple of seasons. They have not lost because of him. There's been silliness going on with the Ravens where they've lost their identity. They were the best running team in the NFL throughout the regular season. They get to the playoffs, they stop running the football, which just doesn't make any sense. Uh, Penalties that come at just the most inopportune times. And I just think that it's time for a fresh voice. When you have a two-time league MVP and you can't get to a Super Bowl, furthest you've been to is an AFC championship game where you scored 7 points. That's got to fall on somebody. And that somebody is going to be the head coach. When again, year after year after year, it's a flop for Baltimore, which opens the door for an interesting conversation. Now, look, if you're a Giant fan, get excited because this immediately becomes the hottest name on the market, and your job is the number one most attractive, assuming Buffalo it doesn't experience some collapse this weekend. So if you're a Giant fan, I want to hear from you in the chat. Two Giants goofballs puts in the chat. Harbaugh needs to be on a private flight to the Giants. Yo, get him in that facility tomorrow and say, you are not leaving until you sign this contract. We will hold you hostage. This was, I wanted, so this happened, was it DeAndre Jordan? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think the Clippers, right? And it's crazy to think about the DeAndre Jordan sweepstakes. He was supposed to go to Dallas, and then Chris Paul and Blake pulled up to the crib and was like, "Nah, you're not leaving, bro." And they locked him in the house, and the rest was history. So if you're a Giant fan, this has to be like the best news you've had in 10, because in the last 10 days, you've lost the number one overall pick. You've learned Joe Shane is coming back. So there's not a lot to celebrate. This right here is worthy of celebration. John Harbaugh is available. And we could have you go from a 8 years, because since 2017 the Giants have the worst record in football. 8 years of just being a complete dumpster fire, 2022 notwithstanding, to landing John Harbaugh, approve it. And I've been saying this with all due respect to the hot shot coordinators, Jeff Halfley, Mentor and Shula, all these cats could be great. This is not me knocking them. What I am saying is, for a giant organization that has been an absolute joke for a decade, that is swung and miss on these coordinators, what you need right now is stability. in the form of a proven head coach coming here with a resume who was going to immediately demand the respect in that locker room because it's warranted, because we've seen you do it before. Proven. Hardware. That's what they need. And he checks all of those boxes. So while I think that it is the right decision for Baltimore to move on, because you can't be a perennial contender and then every year suffer playoff exits the way that they have and then still keep your job. But if you're the Giants and you're in a rebuild, you can make the playoffs. It's so crazy. You could make the playoffs next year. I think this roster has a lot more talent than the record indicates. And the quarterback, we know, it's not Lamar Jackson, but he's got the similar prototype, right? So it's almost perfect. It's almost perfect, man. If you're a Giant fan, you've got to be celebrating. So hit me up. We are excited. I can't even stand. Yo, they haven't even. This is the funny thing when you are desperate, and I'm not making fun of y'all at all. But when you're this desperate, the news of him just being available has you so excited you can't stand right now. Kevin Zwicker says, as a Jet fan, I hope Harbaugh wants to hear. And I said this on Twitter. We'll get to the Jets in a moment. This is what you have to hope for if you're the Jets. He's just like, I need a year to recuperate. I need a year off to clear my mind. I don't want to just jump right back into being a head coach. That's what I need John Harbaugh to do. I am a diehard Jet fan. I know there is a 0% chance Aaron Glenn's going anywhere. They just had that man up there with Darren Muji at a press conference talking about, Muji talking about how, he's more confident now than he's ever been before, despite a 3-14 season, one of the worst in Jet franchise history. Anyway, they're not firing those dudes. If John Harbaugh is sitting there next year after the Jets are awful again, and you can bring him in, it's like, yo. And look, maybe he doesn't want to work for Woody Johnson. Can't blame him. You're going from Baltimore to the Jets. I can't see that happening. But if I could just, for my own entertainment and, pouring into the optimism valve, please, John, sit out for a year. Think this through. You don't want to just jump. You don't want to come out of a relationship, a long-term relationship. You were in this relationship for 18 years. You don't want to come out of that and just jump right back into one, do you? I say you wait, see what the market looks like, be single for a little minute, and then next year, once the Jets are a disaster again, and that job becomes available, what a time, man. What a time. What a time. So that's my hope and prayer. I don't think it's going to happen, but a man can dream, right? A man can dream. My man Anthony says John Harbaugh has to be the New York Giants' next head coach. I don't care if the Giants have to fire Joe Shane to do it. And that's what's funny. John Harbaugh, there were some rumblings he could hit the open market if Baltimore didn't make the playoffs and we saw them lose in week 18 in that heartbreaking game. Joe Shane it was announced he's going to be retained. He's going to be involved in the coaching search. If you're Harbaugh, because of your cachet, you could select who you want your general manager to be. You don't have to sit there and acquiesce to the demands of the New York Giants. And again, the brand is still incredible. I know we've got planes flying over the stadium last year at the end of the season because they wanted to send a direct message, but do it publicly to John Mara, who, by the way, thoughts and prayers, dealing with the cancer and everything. But it's still the Giants at the end of the day. With that said, I'm John Harbaugh. I've got all the leverage. And I get Mike McCarthy's out there. I understand Kevin Stefanski's out there. But of those three guys, who's the best coach among them? Give me John Harbaugh. With a quarterback, he brings that defensive culture from Baltimore. Yeah, pull up John Harbaugh. And if you don't want to work with Joe Shane, reassign that dude. We listen. We'll fire you if you want us to, so you can go try to get another job, or we can be an organization that operates with class and say we're going to just reassign you. You got some other things we need you to work on. Paperwork at the front desk. I don't know, man. But things just got really interesting. The NFL is the gift that keeps on giving, especially when it comes to the coaching cycle, general manager cycle. Two giant goofballs chimes in. Yes, make it Jacksonville 2.0. Jacksonville, for those who don't know what he's talking about, remember, Liam Cohn said, not interested in the job. I'm good. Thanks. Trent Baalke then gets fired, the general manager. Now Liam Cohen's the head coach. Got them to the number 3 seed in the AFC. Trevor Lawrence, the last 6 weeks, has looked like an MVP candidate. And it wouldn't be shocked to see Jacksonville go on a run. So, yeah, coaches, and it's not like Liam Cohen had John Harbaugh's resume. He was a coordinator. That man was an offensive coordinator. So, hey, Joe Shane, you might have to get up on out of here if Harbaugh decides you're not his dude. Harbaugh and Joe Douglas. Shout out Joe Douglas. Let's see what y'all talking about. It's okay to make fun of us. We deserve it. Listen, I am not going to sit here as a Jet fan and act like we are the Patriots dynasty, because we are in worse shape than the Giants. But yes, these are two fan bases, both the Jets and the Giants, who can make fun of each other. And we just get excited quickly. Quickly, we get excited. Jet fans saw Mendoza win one game where we scored 13 points in that win against Ohio State. And we were like, mad hyped on social media. That's our guy. Jets will hire whatever coach Woody Johnson kid finds on Madden. That's not nice. Come on. I mean, I did just say we can make fun of each other, so you're allowed to do that. You hush. The Giants make a great rebound. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. The Giants being a rebound. Listen, I say this with a hint of envy. It's not that I'm hating on the Giants, but I just want to give my football team a chance. And the only chance that we realistically have is if Harbaugh sits out, pulls up Vrabel, doesn't get hired in the current coaching cycle, and it's just like, you know what? I'm available. I'm back. Vrabel's different because he obviously played for the Patriots and won 3 Super Bowls. Harbaugh's got no connection to the Jets. But as you can tell, Ty, how low are you on the Aaron Glenn, Darren Muji regime? I'm so low on them. I'm thinking next season is also going to be a disaster. So much so, they're getting fired. John Harbaugh's sitting there. And now, baby, let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. Let me holler at my man Rick DiPietro. We need Harbaugh to take a TV job for a year. Sit this one out. That's who I go to when I want to confide in someone as a Jet fan. But yeah, Giants, y'all looking up. Y'all you were never on. Yo, Jose, why are you playing me like that though? That's funny to you? Come on, Jose. We were on 15 years ago, buddy. Back-to-back AFC championship games. Don't sleep on that. How about this? How about this? If you really want to keep it a stack, Jose, and we're getting fuzzy here with the details. If you really want to keep it a stack, last 15 years, the Jets have been to more title games than the Giants. If you really want to keep it a hundo, Jose. If you really want to come correct with some facts, last 15 years, who's been to more championship games? And that's starting. We could go last 17 years, I guess, because we're in 2026. Starting in 2009 to now, which of these two teams, the Jets or the Giants, have been to more championship games? Jose, riddle me that. You trying to come at me and my boys, my Jets. Two giant goofballs. Ask Connor Hughes, since he covers both teams, right? Connor Hughes put a piece out today saying the most attractive destination for a quarterback in this draft is the New York Jets. Have fun with that one, Connor. Yeah, man. Exciting day. So John Harbaugh, that relationship had an expiration date just because of how it ended. And we were I did this on ESPN New York on radio. We were doing the head-to-head profile. How do I want to phrase this? Tail of the tape between Harbaugh and Tomlin, because it was outlined as if like the loser of that Sunday night game was going to be the one that got ousted, right? So when you do the tail of the tape between Harbaugh and Tomlin, one of the reasons why I went with Mike Tomlin as the more favorable candidate, the coach that I liked more, was because Tomlin's got a built-in excuse of not having a quarterback. When you've got Kenny Pickett, Mitchell Trubisky, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, old Ben Roethlisberger, old Aaron Rodgers. Like, I get you haven't won a playoff game since 2016, but I mean, look at what you're working with at that position. Now, granted, he's got a lot to do with the roster construction. So some of that falls on Tomlin. Quarterback evaluation. I understand it, but victim of your own success. You're finishing with a above 500 record every year means that it's harder for you to get the quarterback, even though the Giants just did it in the 20s where you could have got Jackson Dart. We go to John Harbaugh. My man, you had a league MVP at quarterback, a two-time league MVP. Furthest you got was the AFC Championship game. That's just not going to cut it. And so I, in pitting those two guys up against one another, said, yeah, this is Mike Tomlin. That's the coach I want. But it's not like I'm saying John Harbaugh is some scrub. That dude can coach. It was just time for him to be up out of Baltimore. It was time for that. It was time for him to go. Harbaugh had one that didn't show up when it mattered. Yeah, Lamar did have some bad playoff games. Lamar was not, I don't think Lamar was bad against Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. Threw for over 300 yards. Zay Flowers fumbles going into the end zone. That's a 17-14 game with 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And Zay Flowers just loses his mind. Lamar showed up in Buffalo. You watch that second half? Leads them back. Mark Andrews couldn't catch a 2-point conversion. Mark Andrews also fumbled in that game. This year, Lamar was hurt. He came back week 18 and balled out in that fourth quarter. Twice put them ahead with touchdown passes. And on the third drive, put them in position to win the game on a chip shot field goal. And you know what's really sad? Because in real time, I second guessed this. 12 seconds to go in the game. One timeout. One of the 5 best running backs in football still in Derrick Henry on your team. We can't get a little bit closer. And look, Derrick Henry's had a fumbling problem this year, not in his career. If Derrick Henry fumbles, hey man, that's on Derrick Henry. But I can't get a touch closer. Now maybe Tyler Loop was just gonna miss it anyway. And you look at it started off like at no point did you think that kick was gonna be between the uprights. That kick missed the entire time. So I understand that. But we can't get a little bit closer. Pittsburgh notoriously has been a tough stadium to kick in. You're on the road. It's January. You've got a rookie kicker. We can't get a couple of extra yards just to help our guy in the biggest moment of his life. So that falls on the coach. That's on the coach. That is 1000% on the coach. You got to get Derrick Henry in there. Or if you're just like, all right, we can do a little play action or RPO, get Lamar involved with this, just to get a little bit closer. The fact that you took a knee, lost 3 yards, and then your kicker missed the field goal, that's on you. It just looks bad. And time again, mistakes made by this team. And what do we always say? Mistakes in big moments. Hey, man, that falls on the coach. When it's year after year after year, that's got to fall on somebody. The Giants better hope Buffalo does not lose this weekend. Giants better hope Buffalo doesn't lose this weekend. If McDermott gets fired, that's the most attractive spot for Harbaugh. It has to be. They better hope Buffalo doesn't lose this weekend, because if McDermott gets fired, that's the most attractive spot for John Harbaugh. Agree or disagree? Let me know in the chat. What y'all think about that? Hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me. We talking Lamar Jackson, John Harbaugh, Ravens ownership. Wow. Jason Garrett interviewing with the Titans. So it's all over, man. Harbaugh had a nice run in Baltimore. Nice run in Baltimore. But it was time for him to get up on out of there. Man. And now we see what the Giants do here. So that's the thing. You worry that he is going to either sit out a year or he wants to see what else happens. If the Buffalo Bills, who are favorites right now, go into Jacksonville and lose that game, they go one and done. When this is like their clearest path to getting to a Super Bowl. You've got Josh Allen, the reigning league MVP. You've got James Cook, the NFL's leading rusher. You've got a top 5 offensive line. And I get your defense is not great, but every team has flaws. What you have is right now the best quarterback in the conference, the most experienced quarterback outside of Aaron Rodgers. But Josh is at this point better than Aaron. If they go one and done in the playoffs, because there's an allergy from a media standpoint to blame Josh Allen for anything. You know who's going to get the brunt of the criticism? It's going to be Sean McDermott, who Bills fans and Josh Allen supporters have been trying to get rid of for years now. If they lose this game this weekend in Jacksonville, I think Sean McDermott gets fired, which means that becomes, for John Harbaugh, the most attractive job available. So if you're a Giant fan, root hard for the Bills. They got to go on some type of a run. They get to the AFC Championship game, because even if they lose in round 2, let's just say they go to Denver and lose in round 2. Sean McDermott's getting clipped. He's getting clipped, in my opinion. And obviously, he leaves Baltimore. He's not going back there. So Baltimore is an attractive job. But, and look, Mike McCarthy, do they go in that direction? What do you do if you're the Ravens? If you're the Giants, though, John Harbaugh, that's your guy. Just hope that another job doesn't open that becomes more attractive. I see both sides because that also brings expectations in Buffalo. Go 500 with the Giants and you look amazing. Got to go to a Super Bowl in Buffalo to look amazing. But listen, man, he's a Super Bowl champion. You think that he is going to diminish his own value and confidence that he can get the job done? Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl that comes with pressure. So you don't just close off an opportunity like that. Come on, two giant goofballs. Like this is just rooted in your own fandom. You mean to tell me it's not attractive to go to Buffalo because it's Super Bowl or bust? No, this is a head coach in the National Football League, a Super Bowl champion, a guy who's won 61% of his games. You think he's afraid of the spotlight? Of course not. He's got an opportunity to coach Josh Allen. And think about that. If you're Harbaugh and you want to be spiteful, and this is going way down the line, there would be no better place for him to go than for him to go to Buffalo if that job becomes available. Because then you win a Super Bowl in Buffalo. And you get to have the last laugh and be like, I told y'all I wasn't the problem. I got a quarterback who can win big games. We won big games. And now we're champions. In Baltimore, and this is John Harbaugh saying this, not me. In theory, John Harbaugh saying this. Come on, play with me, y'all. Work with me. Saying couldn't win, the quarterback couldn't win. And so, wow, man. This weekend becomes so interesting. What if he goes to Baltimore or Buffalo? That would be insane. This is you, see? Listen, yo, two giant goofballs. You should be part of the meeting when the Giants bring him in, right? Lay out just brilliant information. Lay out all the reasons he shouldn't go to Buffalo. Lay out all of your salient points. It's too cold, John. I know you were in Baltimore, but that cold in Buffalo is different. And the wings aren't even made of buffaloes. See, this is why you love interacting with the people. Because you get fans so emotionally invested. They start talking and injecting their like own rooting interest into how these pro athletes and coaches should be thinking, and it just entertains you. Let me believe we are a better option. I'll let you do that. I'll let you do that. I'll let you do that. Giants hate content creators. They tell players not to come on our shows. And yo, listen. You know what really bothered me? I'm trying. Are you a content creator? Let me give you a follow. I just followed you. Two giant goofballs. Yo, here's the thing. You know what drove me nuts? The fact that here's the thing. If you're the Giants, we disagree with your decision to bring back Joe Shane. But stand on business. Hang on, y'all. I got. Yo, we disagree with your decision to bring back Joe Shane, who finished his first 4 years, 22, 45, and 1. But stand on business. Don't be scared to answer questions. Joking here. See? Giants don't like content creators. They put something in the air. But why not answer questions about the contract extension that Joe Shane obviously got? I didn't understand it. I didn't understand that. Wow, Baltimore Ravens put out a statement. So John Harbaugh officially done in Baltimore. Giant fans better be ecstatic. Enjoying run on 2.0. Yeah, if you're gonna bring Joe Shane back, don't fear the backlash from the fan base. You already decided you didn't care about the backlash because you brought him back. So now that you've decided you don't care about the backlash, go all into not caring and letting people know the contract extension. So you're now afraid? Like that just there's no continuity with the decision making there. It's like, yeah, man, the fans are gonna be agitated. They're gonna be up in flames if we bring them back. But you know what? We don't care. We think this is best for the organization. You then bring him back and you decide, well, we can't announce he's got a contract extension because then we'd have so much backlash. You didn't care about the backlash. You obviously didn't care about that. So what's the point? That is a backwards decision. Is this true? Giants even invited creators to campaign, not a single Giants to campaign, not a single Giants content creator. Put me onto that information. I want to know what you got going on there. What's that about? What's that about? 2 giant goofballs. I'll be able to check out your content. You guys look like you do a great job. So yeah, we were here to camp. They even invited creators to camp, not a single Giants content creator. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, well, I appreciate you guys tuning into the stream today. I wanted to hop on to discuss the breaking news. This is huge, man. Shout out you 2 giant goofballs for participating in the action. This was fun. Shout out Jose, all of you guys that pulled up, whether you're in the chat or not. Anthony, my dude Kevin, Spike, all of y'all for pulling up. This is a story that is not going to end, obviously, because there are a ton of legs to this. We have multiple options on the table. John Harbaugh can decide he's sitting out for a year. John Harbaugh can also decide, I want to wait to see if anything else opens up, throughout the playoffs, right? If teams get clipped early that had high expectations, we'll see what happens. He also can decide, I want to coach Jackson Dart. And y'all Giant fans in here are rooting for the third option. So we'll see, man. Hit me up, Ty D Butler. That's where you can follow me on X, on Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube page. My man, happy to have you on sometime too. Hit me up, bro. Hop in my DMs, pull up, let me know. We'll make it work. We'll make it happen. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're gonna see how this goes, man. Holla at your boy.